Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to show you how to pair ribbon colors and patterns together to make your multi-ribbon bows. Hi, I'm Julie Samaco, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we teach you the art of wreath making and faux floral designing. This is a video replay from our holiday bow making masterclass where I taught how to pair ribbon colors and patterns together for multi-ribbon bows. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions below. And if you want more information on our holiday bow making masterclass, just click the link below. Solid or traditional print is a good ribbon to kind of bind things together. So when you're trying to mix up patterns, do you see how this doesn't really go with it? But when I bring in a solid, all of a sudden they're it all makes sense. It just all makes sense. So when I have this, you know, these are patterns that don't quite make sense together, but when I bring in another solid, all of a sudden it looks good together. So I'm saying if you're using, I think the solid prints are kind of what binds everything together. Now this one, I mean, these look good together, just like they are. In my opinion, they go really pretty together. But when you add another width to it, so this is a 1.5 inch, when you add another width to it, now you're looking at a different texture, and you're looking at, we'll talk about texture in a minute, but it does kind of just like blend all of it together and bring it all together. So I do like to use solids occasionally in my bows in order just to kind of merge the patterns together. It just makes it more pleasing on the eye for me. So what I do is I typically find a ribbon that I'm drawn to, and then I find 3 colors from this ribbon, and that's typically what I'll match to go with the ribbon. So I can see that, you know, that you've got a turquoise and an orange. So pairing it with an orange is pretty. Pairing it with a stripe is pretty. Even pairing it with another turquoise print is pretty. So no matter what, if I choose the 3 colors over here, and no matter what I put with it, and if it contains one of these 3 colors, it's going to go together. It's going to go together. Here's another example. Here is the ribbon. So on this side, we're going to talk about texture in a minute, but so you see the colors right there? All right, so here I chose with a solid red, which is pretty with it. You could also choose this moss green, because it's got moss green in this ribbon. So the moss green goes with it, and then also this blue, because it's got blue in it. All right, so you're just choosing the colors. I can't manage all this. So you're just choosing 3 colors out of your focal ribbon for your other patterns and prints, and you will not go wrong matching your colors. You just will not go wrong. Now let's talk about texture. All right, so texture is visual texture as well as touch texture. So you can see that this ribbon is very glittery and icy on one side, and then if you turn it over, it's the same pattern, but it's not glittery. It's glittery and icy on one side and not on the other side. So this is rough. It has physical texture to it. This is a visual texture. So even though it feels like a normal ribbon, but when you look at it, it's got a visual texture to it. So this one has got a lot of visual texture to it. But if you touch it, like this has got that flannel feel to it. It's very velvety almost. And then you've got the cow print, which is a visual texture. And then you have your the squares here that you can feel, and that's got texture. So when you pair your patterns together, it gives you visual texture as well as touch texture. So when I'm looking at my sign, I'm looking at the coloring. So we have the orange, we also have patterns within this sign. Can you see the buffalo check here in the orange and white? but we also have brown, not to discount the brown, the cream, and then we've got cream here, and then we've got the orange down here, and we've got black. So all of those are factored in when I am trying to find ribbon to pair with this. And so immediately I was drawn to this coloring of this ribbon. And so you can see that this ribbon pulls in the golds, it pulls in the browns, and it pulls in the orange, and it pulls in the cream. So immediately I'm like, well, this ribbon looks good. Here on out, I'm looking at this ribbon, and I'm pulling over this because I like the cream, and I like that this is not a bright orange, it's more of a muted orange. And then we have this. So I think all three of those would be amazing bow to go with this sign. The sign, which is my inspirational piece. So we have this animal print, which is big, and then it brings in the turquoise, and we have orange, and then what do we have here? A pattern, right? A pattern of our buffalo check. So immediately I was drawn to this ribbon because it brought in that turquoise color, which sometimes is hard to find in fall, all right? So I loved that we have this turquoise color that comes in, and then also this cheetah print right here ties in with the cheetah print on the pumpkin, and then a solid orange, burnt orange, just sort of ties all of these colors together with this sign. All right, but let me show you, we had this right here, this buffalo plaid, and I wanted to bring this over and just show you like, yes. Do you see how all of these together now look perfect too with that sign? So you could even have one more print. We've got, I'm trying to hold all this up. So we've got three prints. Hopefully this is when my big belly will come into and useful. We've got these 3 prints in our ribbon. But if you were to just put these all together, in my opinion, it messes with my head. But as soon as I bring in an anchor ribbon, it kind of like blends these all together, and it just ties it in so beautifully together. Here's the sign. It's a vintage Santa Claus. So look at the colors. So we have the red, and we've got white, obviously, and we've got emerald green, and we've got hunter green, and there's also just a little bit of lime green in here too. And then we've got the white, right? So we've got all of these colors. You see the difference of the colors? Isn't that cute? That's just a cute little sign. All right, so when I pull this over, I was drawn to this immediately because we have the holly, and we have the green, and there's a little bit of gold, which we have the gold on our jingle bells right there. So that one to me was just really pretty. So now that I've got this one as my focal ribbon, I can now pull in other colors. I was drawn to either this or this for a plaid, and the reason I chose, I think this one looks better. This one to me is more rustic, which there's nothing wrong with it. If you like rustic, this is very pretty. And it does look pretty with it just by itself. Let me turn it this way. It does look really pretty with it just by itself. But when I bring in this one, I just was like, I fell more in love with it. Because remember, this is my focal ribbon. My focal ribbon has nothing on here that says rustic. Nothing on here. We've got gold. We've got glittered berries. We've got the background on it is it looks more like a Dupani silk. So nothing on here says rustic. So that's why I chose to go with this coloring, which has the mossy green. It's got a black stripe. It's got the red, and it's got the white, which goes with our sign, and it goes with our focal ribbon. So then I want to bring in another ribbon size for texture as well as an anchor ribbon. So I chose this solid emerald green, which is not, it's not this texture. So this is more of a linen. All right, so this is more of a linen, right? It's very flat. This is more of a silk. So it's got a lot of shimmer to it. But I mean, can you just not get your head around that color combination? I mean, is that not just beautiful? So yes, if you're going to find a focal piece, maybe it's an ornament that you're putting on your tree, the color of the ornament, or if it's a sign, or maybe you don't have anything like this, you're just looking at the ribbon itself. So I typically find a focal and then I find another main ribbon to go with it, and from that ribbon is where I choose my other colors. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you're notified the next time we upload a new tutorial. Comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.